Welcome in, everyone. Welcome to Butcher and the Beard. I'm David Butcher. That's John Shanley. How's everyone doing today?
Morning, happy
Good
Tuesday.
morning. Happy Tuesday. Did everybody?
So we had the NASCAR game race yesterday, and
That's
I
awesome.
couldn't watch it. I was at work, but I heard it was really exciting and really
Yep.
good. I know Morgan was all excited about it, and
Yep.
Morgan wanted to chime in with some recap stuff, right?
Yep. So
All
we'll
right,
put Morgan right now.
here's Morgan.
Hey, Butcher and the Beard fans, Morgan here with your Sunday post race recap. The Daytona 500 has just finished. The official winner before tech inspection is William Byron of the Hendrick Motorsports 24. And my, what a race it was today. It went relatively caution free for the most part. Uh, there's a quick wreck early on that took out four drivers near the back. Um, Outside of that, it was a really smooth race. Um, then at about 8 to go, there was a massive pileup involving 15 or so cars that all got kicked off by William Byron getting turned into Brad Keselowski, spinning the field behind Ross Chastain. Um, that wreck ended up taking out Logano, Blaney, and Bush, who were all running up front for the race. Um, Race was red flagged while they cleaned up, and we came back to green with 4 to go. Um, there's lots of jostling for position. I do want to note Corey LaJoy had a fantastic day today in that Spire Motorsports number 7. He consistently ran up front all day today, and he had a very strong showing. Now, with about uh, 2 to go, everyone's dicing for position, passing the lead back and forth between those front two lines. And as they came to the finish line to take the white flag, there was a huge wreck, and William Byron was out in front at the time of caution. Now, because they did get the 1 to go flag, the caution flag ended the race, and William Byron is your winner, um, with Alex Bowman coming in second place. This is William Byron's first Daytona 500. I want to offer him a congratulations, and this is actually on the anniversary of the anniversary date of Hendrick Motorsports' 40th anniversary as a company. Fantastic race. I'm going to go so I can catch the Xfinity race, which got postponed until after the 500. Fantastic race. Enjoyed it all the way through. Um, I should hopefully see you guys next Saturday before the race in Atlanta, which will be next Sunday. I see some rain in the forecast. Hopefully, they don't attract the rain to the city any sooner than Friday. So, as it was, fantastic Daytona 500, exciting all the way to the end. I know, I don't know if Butch and John watched it. Let me know what you guys thought, and I will see you guys later. Peace out.
Well, thank you, Morgan, for that.
Thank you, Morgan.
Dave, you watched the race. What did you think?
Yeah, it was good, man. I don't watch too much of the beginning. I'm not ready to watch a lot of commercials at the same time as enjoying the race. But when that last couple laps come, goes 200 laps, and when those last 15 to 20 laps, like I said in our show with Morgan, come, you start to really like
Hmm.
hone down because it's about to get crazy, and it does. These cars are doing 198 miles an hour, and they don't care. They don't care. Like there's even the proof of them on interviews like this week saying they're going to be selfish. And at one point, one guy pushed another guy right into the back of the other car, and that just propelled a big old crash because they could care less.
Yeah.
They said teammates or not, they want to be that car that sits on that podium for the whole year. You know what I mean? In Daytona, the Super Bowl.
Yep.
So they literally were
Yeah.
going crazy. They don't care. Like they took out the guy that I was rooting for at the thing because
I
shit
I
happens.
definitely would have watched it if it
Yeah.
was on Sunday. Although
Yeah.
I did watch the Rangers in the outdoor game, and what a
Yeah.
wild fucking
Yeah.
hockey game
Yeah.
that
That
was,
game
man.
was. I watched
I
that
have
too.
a lot of good friends coming from New York that were Islander fans talking smack to me, but best comeback of the year, and it was
Yeah.
it, it was so fun watching the outdoors because like you could
I
see how
love
it's
the
bigger and
outdoor.
the stadium's bigger and
Yeah.
the outdoor games are a lot of fun. And the Rangers came back 4-1, and then they came back again, and they tied it and won in
Yeah.
overtime
It
on
was.
a crazy
Yeah.
goal that
It was. It was a
you
great
know
game.
the so sometimes you get that like
Yeah.
the Islanders aren't great. They're actually not my my friend after they lost. is kind of like you. He's just like, the whole team's trash. There's like 2 good players, and we need to rebuild this and that. But it's like they're only a couple points out of the last playoff spot,
Yeah.
so like they're not that bad. But they have blown a lot of games.
Yeah.
And it's always fun when those 2 teams play, because it's a big rivalry. It's like it's like the Lightning and the Panthers, but a little bit bigger because it's
Yeah.
the Northeast.
The
So
Lightning
those
and Panthers
teams
are becoming a
been
real big.
battling each other since the
yeah.
70s, 60s, and 70s when the Islanders became a thing. So like
Yeah.
the fans hate each other. It's a great rivalry, and sometimes when you get that, you get a great game.
Yeah.
And that's what happened. It was an outdoor game. It was a great game. It was competitive, and then there was a great comeback. So. I really liked the jerseys that they wore. It was very kind of like old
Yeah.
school. Like it looked like they would be outdoor jerseys. You know what I
that's
mean?
cool.
Like if you're playing in an outdoor hockey league. But that was a lot of fun. I love when
Yeah.
the NHL does that. The outdoor games. In my mind, I'm like, oh, they just played a few years ago in the outdoor. It was 10 years ago,
Oh,
actually.
wow.
It was 2014.
Wow.
And I was just, so I was like, oh man, time flies when you get old. It's
does,
just
it
like, oh yeah,
does.
that was like a year ago. No, that was 10 years ago. It was 2014. We're in 2024 already. Unbelievable how time flies, man, with
Yeah.
with the sports and stuff like that. Because the older you get, you remember games from when you were younger and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and you feel like that was just a few years ago, and it's
Yeah.
just like
You're like 20 years
holy
ago.
crap,
Wait, what did I
like
miss?
94 Rangers, and now we're 30 years later,
Yeah.
so it's like amazing. So
That's for
it is what it is, but that was a lot of fun, that game.
sure. Yeah.
Then we had the NBA All-Star game, which was, that has not been a competitive game since the
No.
90s. They put on a show. It's like watching the Harlem Globetrotters.
Yeah.
The East put up 211 points,
Yeah.
and I'll be honest, like I was watching some regular TV, but I had that on in the back on
Yeah.
like my other TV, just so I could watch it. But I wasn't listening to the announcers or anything like that. And at the end of the game, I'm watching it. I'm like, I guess Giannis was the captain, so he lifts the trophy, and I'm like, how did he win MVP? It should have been Lillard, because Lillard, if you watched any of that game, was shooting things like he crossed the 3-point line, and he was just I'm sorry, he crossed the half-point line, and he was just chucking them up.
Yeah, he was.
It was hitting them.
Yeah.
He put on a show. Like I know Karl Anthony Towns had the most points. He had 50, and then Lillard had 39, and Halliburton had like 36, and he was close. They probably wanted to give him MVP because he was the hometown kid, but Lillard deserved it, man. Lillard was chucking up, like he wasn't even close to the 3-point line. He was so far behind it, and he was just like bam, bam, bam. And 211 points is easily a record for the All-Star game, but they don't play defense. They're just there to showcase it, whatever. And you know what? I know there's purists that have a problem with it, but it's like at the same time, do you really want them being competitive, playing hard defense, and then somebody gets hurt in an All-Star game?
Never.
Not really. If I'm a fan, if I paid money for that ticket and I'm just seeing the guys play, unlike some of the guys that take the nights off because they're hurt or beat up during the regular season, you're gonna see all-star guys play, and you're going to see them shooting moonshots, and you're going to see them doing crazy dunks. And you know what? They're just having fun. I don't actually have a problem with it.
It would be different if it was at the end of the year, like football is, the Pro Bowl. That's why people get mad that the Pro Bowl is flag football and it's not tackled, because it's the end of the year. I'm not saying that they're going to get hurt, but if God forbid they did get hurt, like it doesn't ruin a chance at a run. You know what I mean? Like you got the All-Star game, but that's in the middle of the year.
Same thing. It's the same concept, but basketball, if you're playing it non-competitively, is not as physical as like football. Like football, still like you could be non-competitive. It's still physical. You know what I mean? You still got to tackle people and stuff like that. Basketball, you can get away with not doing stuff like that and just put on like an exhibition or a show. And you know what? I don't have a problem with it because these guys are. They're so competitive during the regular season and the games. That's where they want to separate themselves. They just want to have fun.
Yeah.
And show off, that they can shoot the ball from 100 feet out.
I haven't heard any complaints on people complaining about the All-Star game being lack of competitiveness. People enjoy it.
The media likes to compete, likes to bitch about it, and I'm sure there's some old school fans that believe that you should compete no matter when you're playing, but. these guys are worth so much money, and their contracts are worth so much money.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're an owner and you're paying your superstar like $60 million a year, you'll flip your shit if you get hurt in an All-Star game. You know what I mean? Which means nothing. Because you're trying to win a championship. So that's the ultimate goal. I don't have a problem with it at all.
No.
The only thing with the only problem I've had with the entire whole All-Star weekend is the dunk contest. And it's because the stars don't want to compete in it. And it's like, it's like, I'll say it again. Okay, this kid from Orlando, great dunker. Maybe he is better than, all the other guys because that's all he can do. But he's never even played in an NBA game, I don't think. Maybe like 5 minutes of it.
Yeah, I never
So,
seen
like,
him.
I don't want to see that. I want to see, who's better. I don't care if this kid who that's all he practices is better than a superstar. I want to see what of the superstars are better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no,
like,
I feel
if
you.
it was Giannis versus like the guys who are in the All-Star game, if they did it, I don't care who's the best at it. Somebody on a YouTube video can be better than you. It doesn't matter. You're the superstar. I want to see which one of you guys is the best. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
sure.
I feel like the 3-point contest, every single one of them that participated were actual All-Stars. They were actually in the All-Star game itself. And I think that they should do the same thing with the dunk contest because I don't care. Like I said, I can see a great dunker on a YouTube thing, but I want to see the superstars doing it,
Yeah, no, and if he
That's just
could be a part of it, like that guy could be a part of it, but I want to see them mandate, like, at least just go in there and dunk. But I get it, man. Like, I get why the organization of the NBA doesn't want to do that, because then it's like, oh, you're gonna half-ass that shit, and then you're gonna just go because you have to, and then you're gonna just do a regular dunk. So they want people that want to be in there to do it, but at the same time, it's like, man, I'd rather you just cancel the dunk contest. It's not even fun anymore. And you know what? You're not the only person.
They did cancel it a couple of years. Nobody wanted to do it, and then they said, "Well, we can get these guys that are like G League teams as long as they're a part of an organization one way or another, and they can compete and they can do some wild stuff." But it's like, man, I don't want to see that.
But everybody is the same as you, pretty much. I hear it all the time that they don't want the dunk contest because it's lame. Nobody likes it. So it's like, wow, you put the ball over your head. Wow, that's like the 100 million time you've done.
I mean, there's been some really exciting ones throughout the history of the game,
for sure.
But those were done by the superstars. You know what I mean? Vince Carter was a superstar in the league, and then he wowed everybody when he was in the dunk contest. Michael Jordan obviously won the dunk contest. Kobe Bryant won the dunk contest. LeBron never even competed in the dunk contest, and it's a shame because win or lose, I think people would have really enjoyed watching LeBron in the dunk contest. You know what I mean? Like, LeBron,
he could throw down. Like, I don't get it. This dude can fly. He's still dunking at 40 years old almost. You don't think he would have won a contest in one of these dunk contests?
Yeah, in his prime, he could have been creative. He could have done some really cool stuff. That's the thing, though. I think his agent was like, "Well, if you lose, you'll be ripped apart the rest of your career." He had it's almost like he had to win because Michael and Kobe did. And he wanted to compare himself to the greats. But at that point, then maybe you're not as great. You know what I mean? Because you won't compete.
But we already know. We seen LeBron James on the court without the fucking dunk contest and just be stupid with it. You know what I mean? So we knew that if he would have just put even if someone lied to him and told him, like, hey,
Giannis can jump over the fucking backboard. I don't understand why he wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like I told you guys in the last thing.
He's the only guy I had respect for because he's a legit superstar.
Yeah,
he's a legit all-star.
Yeah.
He fucking did it.
Yeah,
Donovan Mitchell could throw down. Why didn't he join the dunk contest?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I want to know.
There were guys.
Like, if
I want to look at this roster. Just
I want to get
let's
show
look
going.
at the rosters. All right. Kevin Durant's a little low. LeBron's a little low. Luka, I can't see him. Shea. The East, though. Let's see. Damian Lillard, no. Tyrese. Paolo. Scotty Barnes. They couldn't do a dunk contest. Donovan Mitchell definitely could. Jaylen Brown did do it. Giannis, definitely.
Yeah.
I'd throw Bam in there. Bam could do it. Bam's a big dude.
Yeah, Bam
I'm sure he can come up with creative stuff. Paul George used to be a fucking great dunker. Like, I don't understand.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Man,
We ever get that
I
call?
don't know.
That's my first question I'm asking a superstar. What propels you not to want to do the dunk contest?
Right.
what's so wrong about it? Like, us fans enjoy you guys all the time, and then we get to see you guys get creative and go up there and win or lose. Who cares? Like, no one's gonna rag you because you
Exactly.
lost. You know what I mean? Like, if that's what you're thinking, you got a wrong mindset because oh, you should have won. So you tell me when Steph Curry doesn't win the 3 point contest, sometimes they're all dogging him. You know what I mean? No, like we already know what he does on the freaking game. He's a champion. You know what I mean? If you're talking
Exactly.
about like, wow, oh, you didn't win. You know what I mean? Like we already know Steph's one of the greatest, if not the greatest shooter at all time. You know what I mean? So if he
You know,
loses.
it was funny.
Yeah,
Lillard won the 3 point contest, but
yeah,
Steph didn't play. And
yeah,
then
because he did
when you look at the Steph versus what's her face,
Sabrina.
she scored 26, which is the same
Yeah, she
that
has everybody else. She
Lillard
would have.
scored
Yeah,
in
she would
his
have
test
won.
to win, and then Steph still beat her. So like, Steph really is the
Yeah.
greatest shooter ever. But a lot of people have said that she should have shot from the girls' 3 point line, but she still hit 26.
Yeah,
So
she
like,
did good.
it's still pretty good.
Yeah, that's
So
good. I think they asked her
people
probably.
want.
Could they probably said, "Do you
I
want to
was
shoot?"
I'm not, I was entertained by that, but I really wanted to see the college chick participate in that. The one from Iowa,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Caitlin
Yeah,
Clark.
yeah. She's
Caitlin
good too.
Clark is unbelievable.
Yeah,
She's the Steph Curry of girls. Now I
yeah,
know Nescu is really good for the WNBA, but Caitlin Clark is like she in regular season games she's doing that Damian Lillard and shit where she comes past the half point run and she chucks it up and she hits it
yeah.
like
No,
every time. Like
she'll
she's
be in the
incredible.
next one probably because she'll be WNBA by then.
She's gonna be the number one pick next year, which
Yeah.
goes to Indiana, which pisses me off. Fucking, I want her in New York, the Liberty, but if they went and were competitive, lost in the finals last year, so they're not even going to be
Oh
close
damn.
to getting
Yeah.
her. I
Yeah.
was like, man, be trash this year and get her, and then
Yeah.
because she's going to dominate the WNBA.
Oh, for sure. She's really talented. She really is. So she's a baller, man. Like sometimes it's like almost like can you put her in
I
the
mean,
NBA?
there has been women players that have dominated, the college ranks and the pros, but they just did it differently. I've never seen anybody shoot like her.
Yeah.
So
Nah, yeah. She's making a name for herself for sure. So and I
right,
watch her all the time. You know what I mean? She was where the heck was she just I just watched her do an interview somewhere. That's why I don't think she was at the what's that? Because she was somewhere
yeah.
else. I saw her like live somewhere.
I hope her biggest thing is she might not like this is her fourth year now
Yeah.
in college, and if she doesn't win a championship, that'll be a criticism
Yeah,
of
for
her.
sure.
She made it to the finals last year, lost in the finals,
I know, and then that
but
girl that like rubbed it in her face that didn't they like just get eliminated.
yeah, that was ridiculous
Yeah.
because and like even Caitlin Clark's like, no, it's okay, she's allowed to talk trash. But here's the thing: when Caitlin would do that,
Yeah.
she would hit a three from 4 feet behind
The
the
three
three
point
point
line,
line,
yeah.
right? And then she'd turn around, not facing the other teammates. Like she would turn around. There was nobody behind her because now they were going back on defense, and she'd just be like, "Can't see me."
Yeah.
So, and in that game, she dropped like 44
Yeah.
points, and she never did it directly. She never did it at anybody. She would
Yeah.
just like turn around, like, "Yep, can't see me," whatever. So this bitch, after they were gonna win, she only had like 7 points in the game.
I
She was
know.
just like, and putting it in her face, and it's like that's so disrespectful. Like the other one's literally not doing it as a taunting. She
Yeah.
should have got a technical for it, but um, whatever. Like, they won the game, but like, what was funny about the girl that did it is she had no impact in that game whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, I actually watched the game, and there was another girl off the bench that just kept killing them. but that girl who talked the shit had literally no impact on that game whatsoever. So it's always the ones that, you don't have any impact, but you're going to talk shit. Like,
yeah, I
that's,
don't get that.
she was ridiculed, and rightly so, because it's like, you want to talk shit, back it up, because
Yeah.
you did nothing in that game,
No.
and then you still, talk shit. Like,
Yeah.
okay, whatever. It makes you look stupid, and she did. She looked stupid for doing it. So
For sure. She was it was uncalled for at the same time. Like if you had like 25 points and you were the reason why your team just won the national championship, then yeah, talk your shit, walk your walk. But
exactly.
for you to be on the bench the whole game pretty much, no impact towards that.
Well, she didn't. She played, but she didn't do anything.
Yeah.
She didn't have the big of an impact. She wasn't even the prime defender on her. Like if she was on the prime defender on her, and she held her to like a certain amount of points. Oh, she still had almost 40 points in that game. The team just lost. The other team was CLA was a much better team. So they lost the game, but like I said, when Caitlin did it, like she doesn't do it in people's faces. She turns around and she's just like celebrating. But whatever, like it doesn't matter. It's just the petty stuff at the end of the game. And the other one who actually went to the WNBA this year and did not have a very good first year. I think she was in LA. But we'll see what happens. Caitlin might get a revenge if she gets into the WNBA.
Yeah, for sure. I hope so. I hope that she gets her roses. She's a good player. Good for the game. Good for the game. That's what it is. Sometimes you want them to win because they're good for the game.
Like she plays for back Iowa college team. Like nobody follows them, and now everybody follows them. Everyone wants to see her play. She's become an American icon in college, which nowadays is almost impossible. You know what I mean? Like college just generates. College in general, especially for the men's, like people will follow certain schools and people bet and people do whatever, but most of these top athletes are one and done, and then they go to the NBA.
Yep,
you know what I mean? So there's not that much, interest in it, and the interest that she's developed for, it's like when Larry Bird played for Indiana, back in the 80s, or 70s, it's just. It's phenomenal, like what she's done, and like she's a national name, and everybody on SportsCenter talks about her and this and that. And she's just a humble kid, you know what I mean? But she's just a great player, and she definitely has piqued interest in not only a sport that wasn't that popular, but just in general, So it's kudos to her,
It's good to see.
Listen, when we talk about you on this show, you're big time, right?
Yeah, for sure. We don't talk about everybody. But no, yeah, it's definitely
right. If we're talking about you, Butcher and the Beard talks about you, you've made it.
Yeah, that's it. That's how people need to start realizing we don't talk about everybody. But no, at the same time, it comes down to like girls football and basketball and all sports girls is usually hard to follow for men. Dude, they had the lingerie football, and I never watched the thing. And these girls are in lingerie, you know what I mean? But my brain goes, well, I don't want to watch them play football because they're not as competitive as the boys, you know what I mean? So like in my head, that's what I'm thinking. Like, girls in bikinis and lingerie is always nice. You know what I mean? I was gonna say that, but at the same time, they're not just at the beach playing volleyball or something. They're playing the game that I like really take seriously.
Right. So. Oh yeah, I started watching the NBA, the WNBA, the last couple of years. I started watching it last year, a little bit more because I just love the game of basketball. So now, when the off season and the WNBA is going, I'll watch the girls. I don't care. It's the same.
Well, tickets like $5.
Now they're not as athletic, but some of them can still shoot the lights out the ball. And they play, strategically with the pick and rolls and this and that, and they play some good basketball sometimes. So, excuse me.
Bless you.
But had to sneeze out a demon, but. Yeah, no, I watched that, and then last year I watched the World Cup, whatever. That was a lot of fun. So yeah, if you enjoy the game,
the World Cup, I like the girls. They play some good soccer. The girls.
Oh yeah, and if you watch stuff like that, there's less chances of it that it's fixed. So
yeah,
the big time pros, everyone's watching. The refs have their hand the
Yeah, there you
bank.
go. Their
But
hands in a piggy bank.
WNBA and stuff like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I can start betting on that next year.
Yeah.
But you
The,
know,
the Rock
we'll
was
see
at
how that goes.
The Rock was at the NASCAR event also. I meant to mention that he was there. He was promoting
Oh yeah.
the merger of the UFL, United Football League. That
Oh,
will
and the
be March
XFL.
20th. We'll be discussing that because that's football. Like we'll get to do football again. So that's nice. March 20th we
It is.
will be pre-gaming ourselves to get ready for that because that should be good. Like I know that they're not the most talented, but a lot of these guys were in college and they were good college players and they
Oh
were
yeah.
on NFL rosters at one point. So we'll be definitely putting that down on there because like at the end of the day, they make really cool adjustments to the game that like the NFL doesn't take. So hopefully it's some cool stuff that
Right.
we're not used to because that's what they like to do. They like to copycat. The NFL likes to copycat from the UFL or whatever. What was it?
Well, yeah.
The
No, sometimes they come up with good ideas, and the NFL
yeah,
takes it.
that's
Sometimes
it.
they don't. But either way, there's little significant differences.
Yeah. So
So.
I swear, like when I
Ah,
watch them, like, and I'll be like, man, that's a cool idea. The NFL should take that, and then they don't. And you're like, man, that was a given, you know. Like I
yeah.
like that idea where
Yep.
like where they kick. Like I like that the kickoffs. It makes it more fun.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
where they all line up at like the 20-yard line or something like that. They all do like the whole team lines at the 20-yard line for the receiving team, so they can like all block at that same time.
Yeah.
So they're like,
Yeah.
oh
Yeah. Well,
okay,
they like having the returns and stuff like
yeah,
that. So,
and then
uh,
it's
but
safer because now
the NFL
everyone's
stopped it
blocking.
because too many people were getting hurt on that opening drive,
Yeah,
and it
they
was
were.
like, well, it's not really part of the game. But I think that if they just made the right adjustments, it
Yeah,
could be part of the game. You know what I mean? Like have all the defensive players start in their end zone and then kick it off. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That way it gives them more time. Like because especially like if you do it at certain points, like they could be right up on you, by the time you catch the ball. So like you're gonna get hurt or whatever,
yeah,
But or either that or they're not allowed to go until the guy actually catches the ball. Then then they're allowed to actually take off. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or either that or you don't kick it off. You just basically hold the ball and then you go and then
yeah.
you run out from the end zone.
They had that cool thing for for the onside kick, and they let you do a 4th and 15th or something like that, 4th and 15, and then if you convert,
Yeah.
that's how you get the ball back. It wasn't a kick; it was like literally you doing one play, and if you convert on that 4th and 15, you get the that's the onside kick. That's a pretty cool idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was cooler than the kick. The kick is like a 0% chance almost, and how many times they've
Yeah,
attempted?
onside kicks are weird because they work every now and then,
Yeah,
but it's such a low chance. But it's exciting as hell when it does work. So
yeah, it does because all
you
you do
know,
is
and,
you're looking for that one dude who's gonna you gotta hit it so nicely that it pops off somebody's toe or something, so it gets re-kicked. Like that's the only
right.
way because
Think about that. In history that people practice that shit, right?
yeah,
So it's like I'm surprised that it isn't, not easier, but I'm surprised that more haven't happened,
yeah.
because every team I'm sure practices it.
Well,
So
they're good. They're sure-handed. They
shit.
usually put their best
I do
receivers
an
out
onside
there.
kick every fucking play. How about that?
Yeah, yeah. You're playing Madden. That's what people on Madden do.
That
They don't care. They do an onside kick. I watch people on TikTok all the time do that. The onside kick after every touchdown. Like
yeah.
they're just trying. They don't care. But your defense would be so pissed off at you because they have to now drive. They're gonna start at the fucking 45-yard line of their own field.
Yep.
It's not worth it, you know. It's not the strategy, aka chest on the field, you know. Like for
Yep.
Madden, whatever you lose and you move on to your next game, but and there you gotta wait a week of.
So we also had pitchers and catchers reporting to baseball. So we're gonna start getting into them. They'll start having some preseason games. I know all the big stars are showing up now. Like
Yeah,
some of the original guys showed up last week, and now like the bigger
yeah.
names are
We
starting to
gotta
show
get
up and getting in the interviews and all this other stuff. A couple people getting signed still. There's still a few free agents out there that haven't signed. So
yeah.
we'll see how that goes. Basketball does not start up again until Thursday. Those guys get a full week off. Good for the Knicks. They need to heal up. But another full schedule today in NHL, just like yesterday. Rangers. Who do we play today? We play the Stars. Ooh, that should be a good game.
Yeah.
It's at home. Dallas actually has more points than us, 76-75.
Wow.
They're in the West, but that's a really good game. Islanders, Penguins. Yeah, who cares? Devils. No. No other things. The Lightning are off today. Everything else kind of looks like a blah game. Senators, Ottawa, and Panther. Florida is one of the best teams in the league right now. So Stars and Rangers are probably the two closest teams as far as like points wise. Everything else. Okay, Vancouver and Colorado. Vancouver is actually the best team in the league. They got 80 points right now, and the Avalanche are 72. So that should be a good game. That's a 9 o'clock game. Want to watch that? Other than that, not much else going on tonight. Just going to be a slow week, but we'll be back Thursday.
Yep,
thank you, Morgan, for your recap, and then maybe we'll Saturday we'll have a look forward to the next race. So.
We'll either bring Morgan in on Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yeah, Saturday or Sunday morning.
Yep. That's about it, everybody. We might have to go live one of these weekdays. Something. We'll figure it out. We're gonna go live. I promise you. We're talking about it. But yeah, we promise you. We love you all. Thank you guys for all the support. We keep growing and we're keep doing this. And you guys have a great day. And we will see you guys Thursday. We're out.
See you later.